行くぞはっジェノサイカッタ
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about a couple little things. The first thing I want to mention is now we have this exchange shop open. This actually opened up yesterday. My apologies for not bringing this up. I didn't even realize it was open, but this is pretty cool. So in the Ladylike event, you can actually get Lady Zero. You can get memory for this character. You can get her card. You got imprint stones. These are just normal, typical stuff they always put in here. And then you can actually get souls for this girl every day, and you get 30 souls every single day. You get the capsules. Really, really nice. And what's really sweet about this is the character they just recently buffed, and you do need a red balance team in Reviving Hell's Dungeon past tier 40. So they're giving you a free character that is very useful in this game. That's freaking amazing. And the higher you go in RHD, Reviving Hell's Dungeon, the more experience bottles you'll be able to acquire daily. And that's going to help be able to level up your characters at a much faster rate. Really, really nice. You should definitely be doing these dailies every day. And what I would recommend all of you to do is, since you can get these souls every day, if you already have Lady Zero leveled up, then you really should be just salvaging all these souls. You should be getting every 30 souls every single day, and you should salvage them. That way you can go into an exchange shop and get summon tokens, whether it's card tokens or fighter tokens, for the United banner. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. And you just want to make sure that, let's go into the Ladylike event here. And you just want to make sure that you are using all these Ladylike fighters on your teams. The more of them you have, the more points you're going to be able to gain, the faster you're going to be able to get all the way up to the top here to get this Fest voucher and all these other little goodies. And you also want to be equipping as many of these cards you have. I know a lot of people probably don't have this Athena set. Very, very expensive set to get. But those of you that do have it, you do have the option card. Throw them on these characters and put them in there and farm the living hell out of this thing. If you guys would like, I can talk a little bit more about this. But we get these events quite often. I think most people pretty much know what to do. So now let's get to the topic at hand, and that is Immortal Rock. And I wanted to do something a little bit special, different against Immortal Rock, because he really is a total bastard. But I decided to use a couple different characters than what I've used in the past and show off a little something something. So I have BS Orochi on here, and I do have SS Mai, and I realize a lot of you probably don't have these characters. However, we do know that there will be getting memories in the future. We know the game is going to implement memories for them. We also know that the BS characters are going to be coming back. This is going to happen. They really do just make your life a lot easier, especially in these kinds of things. But even BS Orochi can die by this bastard. Even at level 50, completely maxed out, he can die. So I've done a little something to increase his survivability, and really the same for Karate. Karate here can actually die very easy as well. So can K. I mean, I've done some things for these characters to really help them out. And what I've done is I've actually gave them certain card sets. And this is something I want to highlight, showing how to build characters to increase their survivability to where they can actually survive against an Immortal Dungeon like this bastard. So you're probably asking, why is Mai on this first team? She doesn't benefit from Orochi's leadership. She is not a boss fighter. That's true. However, Maizy here has 30% PG rate in her core, and she gets 15% PG rate from her first imprint stone. She's going to have native 45% PG rate at all times. And because you want to apply as much burn as possible in the first phase, she's going to be more than enough. She has 2 skills that apply burn. She's going to do plenty, my friends, believe me. I know some of you probably think, well, you should have Kay, and you should have Rachel, and you should have Mai on the first team. No, I don't think so. You want characters with super armor on the second team. Significantly decreases burn damage and gains super armor upon removing the boss's poison effect with super armor. So you're increasing the burn damage, so having burn on the second team is definitely a must, and you want to have characters with super armor. Guess what? All of these characters have super armor. Kay has it on his third skill, Rachel has it on her first skill, and Rugal, if he gets low enough on his HP, he actually gets super armor too. It's not going to be much, but these two are just going to give that super armor. They're going to apply the burn, and Rugal just has an insane amount of survivability. And this is really awesome because I wanted to showcase Rugal. This character, you never get to use him for really anything except for mainly PvP. That's just the facts of it. I've never done a video about him in PvE content unless it was maybe the Elemental Event or RHD. But in these Immortal dungeons, he just never really gets to shine. But ever since the 3PG card for BS Rugal showed up, now this guy actually becomes much more relevant. So let's take a look at these builds and what I've done to help them out. So for BS Orochi, I actually slapped the Chaos set. Orochi is a balanced TIE fighter. He will benefit from this. I mean, this set isn't ideal. It's not going to give him the most damage. But because it gives you the extra increased defense by 21%, and it increases attack equal to 45% of defense, obtains 10% additional attack for 30 seconds, right? The super armor when tagging in doesn't matter because you don't tag in. It just makes him a lot tankier. Because we've increased his defenses, it just makes him a lot tankier. And because he has this nice long 3PG animation, that's another reason we want him. We want him for the PG rate leadership that's going to apply to Mr. Karate, but we also want him for that long 3PG. And I'm telling you guys, when I would run an Akane set on him, when I would run a Leah set on him, he just would die. He just couldn't hang in there. He just didn't have the survivability. And if you had the new Athena set, that would be amazing on him. I actually did play him with the Athena set and did really well. However, I only have one Athena set, so I actually had to give it to someone else. And he has max imprint stones, guys. You've seen all of this stuff. And then for Maisie here, like I said, guys, with Maisie, you have this first stone that gives 15% PG rate, and she has the 30% PG rate in her core. So, I mean, she has 45% PG rate. She just doesn't need a PG rate leadership. And this is one of the beautiful things about this character. Red fighters have the advantage against the Immortal Dungeon. And Maisie is amazing. She's got burn. She's a red. She has a nice 3PG animation, the free version, or the one that you actually get through the SS banner. And I am running the Akane set on her. And Rugal's option card is actually really amazing because it bumps up your strike skill damage. And Maisie, I mean, strike skill, strike skill, strike skill, strike skill. Lots of strike skills, my friends. Very nice. Really helps her out big time, gives her a little extra damage. And then Mr. Karate. Now, this one you might be surprised by. So he has max capsules and he has max Ember Stones. These are all, I believe this is first just one attack, and then the last one's double attack stone. But his card set's really where it gets interesting. Mr. Karate can die very easy, and we actually get to show off the Ein set. This is something that never gets really any light shed on it at all, but this set actually helps him so much because he can die so easy. He really needs this decreased damage received. Having this decreased damage received by 20% for 3 seconds upon using an active skill on a 7-second cooldown is massive. Giving him this decreased damage received really helps Mr. Karate. He's a super fragile character. Even at level 50, even at the type advantage against the Immortal Dungeon, he just dies so easy. Even when you're switching your characters out and you're trying to use his skills, you're trying to use his hyper armor so he stays alive, he can still die very easy, guys. A couple shots by Immortal Rock hitting him and he will croak. This set is actually really good for him here. Pretty insane. And then K. And you probably guessed where I'd put the Athena set. Yeah, I slapped it on K. He is a defensive fighter. It's really going to help him big time. I actually ran with the... Let's go ahead and slap the right card here, so we give an accurate representation of what I used when I did this run. You definitely want his option card to give you that extra burn damage. But the Athena set really is amazing. We've talked about it before, guys. Increasing all of these defenses, increase attack equal to 50% of defense, giving a lot of damage. But the thing about this set is decreases damage received by 60% when the defensive fighter's HP is 20% or less. So K is going to take a lot of damn damage, but once he gets down to 20% HP, he's going to decrease damage received by 60%, and there's no cooldown on this thing. And this set, honestly, even K, as tanky as he is, he can die very easy. Those of you out there that are using 3-star, 4-star, maybe even 5-star Ks, you might find he's pretty difficult to keep alive. Even being so tanky, he can die very easy. And this card set is actually amazing because of the increased damage, but that decreased damage received is massive. Notice a trend amongst some of these characters. I'm just kind of making them to where they can just be tankier to have survivability against the Immortal Dungeon. Because if you have survivability, you're going to be able to do your ultimate skills more often. You're going to be able to keep all of your characters alive. And that really helps. As far as imprint stones, we have a double attack on the first stone, double attack on the third stone from Guild Raid. And then you definitely want a PG stone on this guy in the center. This makes a big difference. He does get the 20% PG rate from his leadership, and having this 8% PG rate from the stone will give him 28% PG rate. And he does have PG rate in his core 15%. Really, I find if you have near 50% PG rate for your characters, that's when they're really going to be doing their ultimates more often. And Rugal. Now, Rugal is actually freaking amazing for this. If you have the 3 PG card for BS Rugal. If you don't, then unfortunately Omega here isn't going to get it done for you because his skills are just going to get canceled immediately. You're not going to stall the timer whatsoever, and that isn't going to help you at all. But I do have him max capsules. And as far as Emperor Stones, he's not completely maxed. Now, I did give him one of these stones that increases attack and decreases damage received by 20% for 5 seconds upon using Awakened skill. So when he uses the Awakened skill, he's going to decrease damage received by 20% to really help his survivability. But I really don't think he even needs it, but a little extra something, something. And then I got a double attack stone for his last stone. And I still could make him even stronger if I put another stone here. And then for his set, I used an Akane set just with 2 regular cooldown cards. And if you have the 3 PG card, like I mentioned earlier, this will really make him good here. If you don't have it, unfortunately, he's not going to be that good. You're probably going to have to use Neskio instead, which we'll find. Kyo is actually really amazing because he has super armor and hyper armor. And actually, his survivability is great. Plus, he deals burn damage. And he has 70% PG rate on his second skill. So he's actually a really good replacement for Rugal. But Rugal, since he has that nice 3 PG, and he has 30% PG rate in his core, which is awesome. So he's going to have 50% PG rate from having K in the leadership. But here's what's really, really nice about Rugal. Recovers 3% of HP upon landing an active skill. So Rugal, we got the decreased damage received stone on him, but I really don't think he needs it because every time he does his active skills, he's going to get a heal. He's going to get a heal. He's just, the guy can just take a tremendous amount of power, even though of attacks, because he is an attack type fighter. I never had a problem at all keeping Omega alive, which is a big one here. It's massive. But again, if you don't have that 3 PG, he's just not going to be that good. And then Rachel, of course, she's got max imprint stones. She has, I'm using the Yentama set. You could easily put a Fest set on her. I just want all that extra burn from this set. But really, you could put a Fest set and it'd be just as good. I don't know if it'd really be better. I'd have to actually do some testing. But I don't think you really need this, in all honesty, to get to 500 million if you're able to use this teams. So I've already pre-recorded a run. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So something you're going to notice about this run is we're going to be doing our ultimates very, very often. Even though Maisie isn't benefiting from BS Orochi's leadership because she has that 45% PG rate, she's going to do her skill or her ultimate skill quite often. And the main thing to remember whenever you're doing this, if you're running with this team or really any team, is you want to, whenever their 3 PGs ready for the character you're playing with, switch to the next character. As soon as Orochi's 3 PG was ready, I switched to Mr. Karate. Now look, now I'm going to be playing someone else. We got Mai in there, and now we're using her. And I just keep switching and switching between them. Spam your skills while you're using your ultimate skills. Hey, baby girl. Mai's really getting a lot of love, in all honesty. And Athena will too, guys. She will too. As soon as the right Immortal Dungeon, Immortal Typhon shows up, believe me, she's going to be massive, massive in that damn thing. I guarantee it. She will be insane for the Immortal Typhon. But right now, it's all about Maisie and all these other great characters. And Karate, man, he just, all these characters have long animations. It's really an Omega level team. And I tried switching around. I actually tried using Kay and Rachel and Mai on the first team. And I'm telling you guys, the way that I have it set up right now, I was scoring more points consistently. I was doing much, much better. Anywhere from 50 to 100 million more points from the setup that I'm currently using right now. I just had to figure out the right cards to use to try to increase their survivability and help them out. And that's really why I want to share this video with you guys in order to hopefully help you guys increase the survivability of your characters. Because that's really the biggest challenge of this. I mean, yeah, obviously you need damage, but God almighty, this dude's just so strong. He just freaking destroys you in no time. And it's just, it's so annoying. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And I can consistently, with this first team, I can consistently get around 250 to 300 million with this first team. And that's with Maisie at 3-star. Just imagine if she was at 5-star, fully leveled up. Think about that. We would be doing even more damage. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah. It'll really be nice if we get another red character that has a nice PG rate leadership that is somewhat tanky. That would really, really help this, to be honest. Because then you can replace BS Orochi with that character. Currently, right now, I mean, we do have some characters like Geese Howard, there's a Zhongfei that you can use, but I mean, guys, seriously, they're just not that good for this. I tried Geese quite a few times. I just wasn't having no luck with them. I just really wasn't. Whether he was on the first team or the second team, because he just has that long 5 PG. If they ever to give the guy like a nice 3 PG, he would be so much better for this. Oh my God, he'd be so much better. Because he does have great damage. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ooh. And you see Maisie's taking a lot of damage, guys. A lot. But we're down to the end of the first phase, right? So I'm not really too worried about it. And look, we already hit 275 million. Come on, girl. I'm hopefully trying to build this PG up again, but doesn't look like we're going to get it. And we did. So 290 million from the first team. Like I said, I consistently get 250 to 300 million with the first team. I'd say on an average 275 million with the first team. And now we get down to using Kay, Rachel, and Omega. Omega, you don't have to worry about him at all. Rachel, you don't have to worry about her either. But Kay, Kay, you don't really have to. I mean, you have to worry about it if you're not running with the Athena set. But the thing about Kay, and I've mentioned this so many times in these videos when I use Kay, is when he does this animation, he can miss. And if he misses, you're going to lose a tremendous amount of damage. Now, in this run, I had a good run, and Kay was doing his ultimate very often. But that doesn't always happen. And even when he misses just one time, that's the difference of about 50 million points for me, guys. 40 to 50 million points. It makes a big difference. And you see, I'm just switching and switching and switching every time the 3PG is ready on one character. So, for example, if Omega's 3PG is ready, I switch to the next character. You got to be a little careful with Omega, though, because you don't want him to use his default finisher. You want to try to avoid that at all costs, because his default does it will get canceled, and you won't stall the timer at all. The bad thing about the 3PG for Rugal is whenever he's doing it, you can't spam your skills from other characters. So watch. Notice there's no skills showing up on the screen. This is the bad thing about it. But as you all will see, we can definitely get it done using this team. And I want you to look at Kay's life right now. He's taken quite a few shots. And if I was running the Kay set, he probably would have died. And, you know, and when you have these longer fights, you're just going to take more damage throughout the fight. So now, you know, Kay's going to be decreasing damage received by that 60% because of the Athena set. And that's just helping his survivability so much. There, look at that. Woof. Woof. And we are down. We're low. And we still have 13 seconds left. Come on. Oh, boy. Ooh, we're just... I mean, look at that. Look at that. And see there, Rugal did his default. I'm like, oh, crap. And Kay's about ready to croak. And he just died. Even with the Athena set, Kay can die. But 2 seconds left to spare. We were able to hit the 500 million mark. But I thought this was a cool video to do, since we could actually highlight some of these cards and actually do one of these Immortal dungeons with Omega. So let me know how you're all doing against Immortal Rock. Let me know what teams you're using. And as always, what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten. And I stream on Twitch every day at 9 a.m. GMT plus 7 time from Sunday to Friday. The link will be in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.